The last test before you've a massive game midweek, just talk us through your thoughts on how it went today.
No, listen, I think immediately when you look at the scoreline, it's clearly not ideal from that point of view. What I thought as a whole reflection is the opposition we've faced during pre-season. All the games are all leading up towards peaking on Thursday. I am happy with how preparations have went. Result and performance aside today, I think the players know that as well. We've just been speaking about that just now. I do think we're a little bit in between today in terms of how we've set up against a variety of opposition that I think's been beneficial for what we could potentially face in Europe. Different styles, different levels of opposition. If you think back to Ajax and Bournemouth, for example, and different ways of playing against these types of opposition. And today, I thought we were a little bit in between. So that was probably a real good test in terms of playing against a team that's hungry, aggressive, physical, which we face domestically very often. So that was something that, and I felt we were a wee bit in between from being at our fluent best, and positionally the way we wanted to press maybe wasn't quite as aggressive we'd like to be in certain things. And then within that there was obviously loads of individual errors and things that come that you'd much rather see in a friendly game today than next on Thursday. But on the whole, how pre-seasons went, where the level of the players are at, I'm happy. We know we need to be miles better than we were today, so I'm delighted that's happened today rather than Thursday. But Thursday is a completely different occasion. It's a brilliant thing to look forward to, and it's the rewards for last season. So I'm sure come Monday all the players will be coming in desperate to put today's result and performance behind them and trying to get into that team for Thursday, because right now it's about making sure you're in that starting 11 if you can be.
You still have a few selection headaches ahead of Thursday?
I think you always will have, naturally, just with the strength and depth of our squad. We've got a lot of good players that can play a variety of positions, and within that you always want healthy competition for places. So you need to be playing well to stay in the team, and if you get your opportunity you need to make sure you take it. And that's something I think we demonstrated really well last season as well. Not just a case, I say this to the players all the time, the team that starts is never the team that finishes, and then so you need to be ready to make an impact when called upon, and we've certainly done that a lot last season, and it was a real strength to the group and the togetherness within it. That's still here, which is credit to the football club for all the hard work we've done keeping this group together from a the character side to it and the togetherness within it. We just need to make sure that, and we will be ready for a real tough test but a brilliant game to look forward to on Thursday.
Obviously you kind of gave the keepers a half each. Is it still Jordan's to lose, or are you still making decisions there?
Yeah, well, this is something we'll find out on Thursday, but I think there's a conversation to be had. I think both goalkeepers, I'm really happy with the goalkeeping department from where we are just now. Rafa's came in and settled in really well as well, which is great, and Smudge had clearly a fantastic season last season. So all in all, I'm happy with the goalkeeping department, and whoever gets the gloves will be the one that has to make sure that they play at the top of the game. But one thing I'm seeing at the moment is, and Murray Johnson included in that, is a real strong department that are pushing each other and making sure that they need to be at the very top of the game, which can only help everyone.
How close is Thibault Clégy to potential starting games, or how is he fitness-wise just generally?
Yeah, well, fitness-wise, he's obviously had his own pre-season over in Switzerland, which has been positive from him. Today, he's only really trained with us yesterday, which is why it was obviously limited minutes today, and we don't want to take unnecessary risk. We need to get eyes on him really and see exactly what that looks like. He's obviously not done a full pre-season with us, but as you've seen today, he's sharp, he's fit, he's available, but we don't want to be pushing too quickly too soon with the risk of what that actually looks like. So he's only had one training session with us, which was yesterday, and he'll benefit from a full week leading into Thursday.
Are you able to harbour the good feeling that came at the end of last season because of what you achieved?
Yeah, I've certainly felt it every day in training. I spoke a lot about the group and the togetherness and the feel-good factor and what comes from winning games, which is clearly momentum, but also the togetherness within it. I think I felt that coming back in pre-season. The rewards for last season is European campaign, so everyone has been working hard and everything has been geared towards Thursday night, which is one that now there's no distractions between now and then. There's no games in between. It's full focus on Midtjylland and the challenge that that's going to face. But it's why, and the reward for what we've done last season. So I do feel it's there. I feel we know we're in a good place, and we know where we still need to improve, clearly. And I know the players will respond from what happened today, and we'll make sure we're ready to go on Monday.
You get a
Get a
chance
bit
to have somebody over there tomorrow watching them, or do you know what you're going to face already?
Yeah, well, there's a lot of hard work being done. That's the benefit of, now this doesn't happen all the time in Europe, because clearly round to round it can change really quickly, but we've known who our opponent is for a very long time. So there's a lot of hard work already being done, the same as I'm sure they'll have been keeping an eye on our pre-season fixtures and the back end of last season. That's what you do as much as you possibly can to give yourself the best opportunity, and we've certainly done that. We know what we're going to expect to face, and what they do tomorrow is almost irrelevant to a certain extent, because they might do something completely different, the same as we've done something different today as well. So with it being pre-season, we are looking at fitness levels of the players and making sure everyone's fit and available to go, and I'm sure they'll have been doing the same for the last few weeks. I know the campaign starts slightly earlier, so all in all, we'll make sure the players are fully prepared, knowing what to expect. With a game plan to go over there and make sure we give ourselves the best chance to get into the next round.
Are you able to give an update on Lewis Miller in terms of fitness and transfer? Very interesting.
Yeah, well, the immediate thing, the update on it is he obviously picked up a knock against Essen. We thought it was just a contact and a little bit of that, expecting it just to be a couple of days. Fortunately, it's proven to be a little bit more than that, nothing too significant, we hope. He's actually moving, feeling a lot better, and it's improving all the time, but rather than being a couple of days, it's looking like maybe a couple of weeks. But Lewis being Lewis, I know what he's like. He's always keen to try and get back as quick as he can. He's usually one that you'd always have to manage to make sure you're not taking unnecessary risks with him as well. Plus he'll have the lure of European football that he's desperate to get involved in, clearly. But we obviously won't be taking any risks with that. In terms of his own personal transfer situation, I know there's been a lot of talk around it just now, but his focus is because he has picked up that knock and injury, he's desperate to try and get back in the team.